Are you ready? Today, day 2 of the Millionaire Marketing Makeover. I am Izzy Nally. I'll be your host, and I'll tell you more about me in a moment. But today is going to be really exciting. Today is definitely a day not to miss. Why? Because I'm talking about the 2 simple steps that you need to create your Million Maker marketing plan. Now, if you find yourself in any coaching business and you are struggling with confusion or just staying consistent because you're trying to follow the different trends, you're trying to figure out what you're supposed to be doing, maybe you're getting lots of different messages and lots of different things that you're being told, like, do this if you need more clients. No, do this, manage your Facebook page, post on social media 50 times a day, go live every day, all these different trends. And I am extremely curious. Please let me know, what trends have you been hearing? What have you tried even? And maybe you've tried and it didn't work. Maybe you've been told, maybe you had a coach at some point, or you were in a mastermind and they told you that you had to do these certain things in order to achieve your goal of getting more clients, right? Like, it leaves us so confused, and it can lead us to burnout trying to keep up with all of these. Like, my goodness, how are we supposed to be posting every day, going live every day, doing a new freebie every week, and sending emails every day? Like, then what time do we have left to actually do what we love to do? Marketing should not be taking up all of your time. And if your business is big enough and you're going to go into a more complex marketing system, then that's when you hire a team. But what about those who are early on? It's just you. How do you manage all of that marketing, just you? The answer is you don't. You do these 2 simple things that I'm going to talk about today, and you make it simple. I am all about simplicity. It does not need to be complicated. And we need to check in with ourselves and check in with these subconscious beliefs that we have, or things we've been told, things we've been taught, that it's supposed to be hard, that it is complex. Because that's not true. And your business does not have to be hard and complex. And if you keep trying to make it complex, then check in with yourself and say, how can I make it simple? But I'm going to talk about that today. I'm going to tell you exactly how you can make it super simple so that you can get your business growing, so that you can start to have more clients, so that your business feels easy. I'm Izzy Nally. I'm your host. I'm the owner of Izzy Nally Consulting. Big surprise. And I am an MBA business strategist and marketing strategist. I work with $1 million companies in the corporate world, helping them with the same exact things. And then I also work with individuals, and I love working with individuals. Why? Because we make so much more impact, right? As a coach, you are most likely wanting to leave your 9-to-5 so that you can show up in the world to your clients and make the world a better place, one person at a time. And that's probably why you're here as well, because you know that in order to make the world a better place, one person at a time, it starts with us. And it starts with how we can show up in our business. And our business needs to magnetize the clients that we want to work with. That's a key word right there, a key phrase. Magnetize the clients that we want to work with so that we can impact their lives and then continue our mission so that they can impact others. So we might all have different things that we're working on with clients. So you don't have to be a business coach to be working with me. Maybe you're a spiritual coach. Maybe you're a life coach. Maybe you're a career coach. Maybe you're a health, fitness, wellness coach. I want to know, what type of coach are you? Comment below so that we can all show up and support each other. So if you're watching the replay, comment replay and participate just as if you were watching live. Okay. And that way we're all supporting each other. Let's talk about our businesses. Let's talk about our struggles. We need to allow ourselves to be vulnerable. We need to allow ourselves to have a community, that we need mentors, that we need people that we can share these struggles with, and we can help and support each other. And that's one of my goals within these groups that I have, is that they are supportive. They're not competitive, because we all bring our own unique way of doing things. Just the sound of our voice, the way we show up. We're going to attract different people. The different words that we use, the different way that we infuse all of our gifts into what we do. We could have 50 different life coaches in this room, and every single one of them will be unique. We could all be teaching the exact same thing, but we're going to phrase it slightly different. We're going to have different stories. We're going to have different experiences, and we're going to have different ways that we support our clients. Each one of us are unique. So allow yourself, first and foremost, to get out of scarcity mindset. Start questioning your beliefs of the way things should be. And start opening your mind to bigger possibilities that you might not even know exist, because you're working on, as we talked about yesterday, shedding the old layers. We're the caterpillar going into our chrysalis, and we're developing, and then we're going to come out through a little bit more of a struggle. We're going to turn into our butterfly, our higher self, and we're going to be completely different. We're not going to do things the same way as we did as a caterpillar to the butterfly. We're going to feel our freedom as a coach, a freedom to make an impact. When you see a butterfly, don't you just stop and watch it and go, wow. And so isn't that what we want to create? We want people to chase us. We want people to be impacted by us. So we're becoming butterflies. Okay, so let's talk about some of these things that I see people do when they're brand new, or they're still fairly new, and they come into the coaching world, and the number one thing they feel like they must create is a website. And they might not have even done, and in most cases, they haven't done step one, which we talked about yesterday, creating a clear vision and mission statement. That, again, you don't have to have all your services lined out, and most of them don't, because they don't have the alignment, the anchor that's pulling them in and guiding them with that vision and mission statement. So then they try to create a website, and it's kind of all over the place. And really, you don't need a website starting out. You need a landing page, and you need something that pulls them into one direction. Now, that's not the secrets today, but I'm just giving you clues, okay? I'm telling you what we don't need to do. So the website, the other thing, I'm looking at my notes so I stay on track. I tend to go all over the place, and I want to make sure that you all get so much value from this today. The other thing I see people do is they wait to create products because, one, they feel like they need to compare themselves to everything else everyone else is doing, or they don't feel like they're enough. They feel like, oh, maybe I need another certification. Maybe I need this. Maybe I need that. They're having enough issues. And so they start trying to build an audience first before they have a product or even a clear focus of how their business is going to make money. Who's done this? I've done that. I didn't realize I was doing it, but I did that for a long time. And I had to keep stopping and asking myself, what am I selling? I'm expecting people to interact with my posts and I'm complaining because I'm not making money. What am I selling? I'm just selling and wanting people to just say, yes, I want to hire you for coaching. And they're going to come to me, right? This is what we think. We think we're just going to pop up a web page and our virtual doors are open and people are just going to flock to us and say, yes, I want your coaching. That's not how it works. Now, it can seem like that. We look at these other people that have been doing it and we don't see all the behind the scenes stuff they're doing. And so that looks like what's happening, but it's not. Because we're comparing ourselves to people that have been in the industry or maybe have had a coach and they've set up all their back end stuff and they make it look really easy. And it can be easy. But the problem is we are looking at it from one side and going, oh, I just need this. I just need to pop open my virtual doors and people are going to want what I have. There's a big thing that we're missing. Within marketing, we must have our know, like, and trust funnel. Our know, they know us. We've grabbed their attention. They're aware we exist. They like us, meaning they continue to know we exist. They like what we have to offer. They like what we're talking about. And then they trust us. So now they've been in these two phases of the funnel. They trust us. And they also trust and believe that you can make this transformation, whatever it is, happen for them. And they trust that you can deliver it. And they trust that they themselves can also show up and participate and that it's possible for them. This is the funnel. I had someone I was talking to yesterday. I host a monthly networking online event. And someone they had just recently opened up a traveling nurse agency. And she was able to get clients in certain areas, but she actually wasn't able to get clients in her hometown. And she was really struggling with why. She was like, we've put up a billboard. I've gone in and I've brought them the pins and all these marketing materials and candy and introduced myself and promoted my business. And I said, okay, what else have you done? She's like, well, that's it. And I was like, okay, well, within the funnel of know, like, trust, right now, you're just still in that top phase. So yes, they're not purchasing from you. They are just knowing that you exist. It's awareness. They just know. Do they like you? Have you given them the opportunity to like you? And this is where I suggested to her, like, this is where that human to human, people to people has to happen. This is where relationships have to happen. And there's multiple different ways you can do this, but the same concept is the same. I said, call them and just talk to them. Just talk to whoever's at the front desk and hear their problems. Ask them what's going on. What do they like and not like about these other people that they're using, these other agencies? And then, you also need to allow them, they have to like you before they're going to trust you. I don't know about you, but I typically don't trust someone that I don't like, that I don't know, right? So then they're going to be willing to take the chance once they trust you. They're taking a chance on you. Don't you have to trust someone before you just hand them $2,000, $5,000, $10,000 and expect them to deliver what you've been trying to sell them? They also need to know, like, what is that? What is that transformation? Because if they don't have this solid trust that you're going to deliver a transformation for them, why are they going to trust you with their time, Why are they going to trust you with their money? Like if they're following you and they're wanting to watch all your lives, or they're signing up for your freebies, they are interested. They're ready. Like they trust you. They love what you have, and then they're ready to buy. Now, I want to preface that with, I guess I'm going to follow up with that, that you don't have to be giving away free stuff all the time. There's different ways of doing that. But what always holds true in whatever you're doing is, does it fall into this funnel? Does it walk them through those stages? They know you, they like you, they trust you. How many of you done this? I still do this. I see this really great freebie and I sign up for it, and they send it to my email, and I've already gotten distracted by social media, and I never even went to my email and checked and saw the freebie. Why? Because I don't really know this person. They're not on the front of my mind. I was just signing up for it because it sounded good. This can happen. This is why freebies are not a foolproof plan. Messaging people, giving them something right then and there that they get really excited about. You still have to sell a freebie. You have to sell it, right? If they didn't sell me on the freebie enough, I'm not going to go check my email and check it out. And then all of a sudden I'm getting these emails from these people, and I never open them because I still don't really know who they are. So again, those strategies, they're strategies. They don't always work. You have to make sure that you are doing the awareness. I know who you are. I like you. I trust you. And then I buy from you. Now, I have seen people where that does work. And how it works is how you're grabbing their attention. How do you grab their attention? That's what we want to talk about today. All right. So the 2 simple steps to a million maker marketing plan. You have to get their attention. How do we get their attention and keep their attention and make it so whatever we put out there, whatever trend we want to follow, whatever we want to do with our marketing, these are foundations, these are fundamentals. That they're actually going to sign up for the freebie and then they're going to go look for the freebie. They trust our advice. They actually do what the freebie says, and then they want to follow you and see when the next thing is coming out. How do we do that? Consistency. And you're like, shit, I already knew that. You're like, yes, I know. I keep telling myself, this is where I was. I keep telling myself I need to be consistent, but life happens. If you're not so excited about what you're doing, that it's a struggle to show up every day, then you're not doing it the right way. You need to show up being your complete, authentic self so that it's easy to show up every day. You are involving them in your life. They're becoming your new best virtual friend. We talked about this last night with one of my clients. She goes to the gym every day. Then when you're at the gym, take a photo while you're at the gym and post about what's going on in your mind. And that pertains to her because she's a health and wellness coach. And post about what's on your mind. There's a million things you could talk about at the gym. You can talk about, maybe your outfit's bugging you and how you wish you had bought that other thing, or how you love your new pants you bought, clothing wise. You could talk about what music you're listening to or an audiobook you're listening to while you're on the treadmill. You can post your workout. You can talk about what you ate before, or what you're going to eat after. There's a million things you can be talking about. But we have to have a little bit of focus. And when we have focus, the irony, right? When we have that focus, it allows us to think of more. Analysis paralysis. Have we heard this term? Who's heard that term? Analysis paralysis. Who's been stuck by this, right? You go to the store, maybe you're a peanut butter lover like me. And I'm sorry for anybody that's not, or they can't like peanut butter. You go down to the peanut butter aisle and there's so many choices. There's so many choices. How do you choose? How do you choose the peanut butter or the cereal or whatever it is that there's like an overwhelming amount of choices? One, there might be brand recognition, right? Oh, that's the brand that my parents bought. Or I've seen a commercial, or I've seen an ad a whole lot for that. Oh, consistency, right? Guerrilla marketing strategies tell us that if they see it over and over and over, they're more likely to give it a chance. You just need to show up consistently. And in order to show up consistently, you need to be you. Now, I'm telling you two things today. That's the first thing. The second one's even bigger. Okay. So stay tuned. The second one is even bigger than this. In order to be consistent, it's not a matter of which strategy are you doing and is it the right one? Just be showing up. Be showing up fully you. Be showing up in your humanness. I can't say that enough. I will tell you, my post where I actually half the time might be crying while I'm typing it, where I'm vulnerable, those are the ones that get the most comments, the most likes. People get to know me. They start to trust me. And they should, because I'm pouring it out. I'm letting them know. And this is where a lot of coaches really struggle. This is a big area. Who is scared of being vulnerable? Who's scared of being vulnerable? Who's scared to show up online because you're scared of what your friends, your family might think? Are you? What fears and blocks are preventing you from being vulnerable and showing up consistently, talking about your passion online? Now you're like, Izzy, you're not telling me anything new. Well, I'm going to give you some tips. Just like I said, like, what are some things that you do? Okay. And this is how you can show up online. Pick a topic for the week. Okay. Writing this down. What are some topics that you can talk about that pertain to your vision and mission statement? You did this yesterday. What are some things that we can talk about that pertain to that? Okay. Then let's list all those out. One of those you're going to expound on, and you're going to talk about that for the whole week. Okay. Maybe, like, for example, it's meal prepping. You're going to talk about meal prepping all week. Or you're going to be talking about burnout. But let's be even more specific. Burnout due to busyness. Or burnout due to busyness because of avoidance. More specific, right? How much can you talk about that? Could you post a quote one day about that? Could you have a teaching moment on that? Could you share a personal experience on that? Can you have an engagement post on that? And what do you offer that you could do about that? Even a blog post, even. Like, there's all these different media types. You're talking about the same thing all week, so you're making it simple. Okay? You're making it simple on yourself. And then you pull all those together so that that graphic that you created can go in the blog post. The video that you made can go into the blog post. And all these things start to piece together. And then guess what? Next year, same time, you've already got all this crafted together. You can redo it or just reshare it. Make life simple. Okay. That just allowed you to be consistent for the week. with a topic that's on the front of your mind. If you have to keep changing your topic a million times, first of all, people are going to get confused. People need to hear it over and over for it to hit home. People need different modes of media to learn it in different ways. Okay? You got this. You can do this. This is simple. Okay, are you ready for the big item? The big item that is going to keep your Million Maker marketing plan simple. And this is what really makes it the Million Maker marketing plan. You ready? Story. Like, oh, I've heard this before too. We learn through story. We get emotional through story. We remember lessons through story. If I said, I don't remember that girl's name, but I remember the story she told me. All right? You're going to remember a story, especially if it hit home. If it really hit home. I got really serious in my business when I went and did the MBA program. That in itself was a huge pivotal point. I had kept relying on men relationships to provide for me so that I could do my passion and allow me to have a schedule that fit my children's schedule. At that time, I was now a single mom, and I needed to leave that relationship. So I decided the MBA program sounded good because they also gave you a paid internship and experience. And I heard that an MBA was a great return on an investment. And so I did it. I cried most of my way through the MBA program because it was so hard working full-time with my children and going to school full-time. So hard. But I was determined that I was going to make a change. I was going to make a huge change. I was no longer going to allow myself to rely on someone else for my income. That I wanted my own freedom. I wanted my own independence. And that if I was ever in a relationship again, which I now am very happily, that I was not going to let myself fall back into that comfort zone. Pretty big commitment. So I had this internship, which was, of course, just a contract. It was a contract where I was working, and it wasn't an internship. I was doing all the work that an employee was going to do because I was in a master's program and I already had so much more experience because I was one of the older people in the MBA program. And I knew that contract was potentially going to come to an end, and I had made up my mind that I was going to get really serious about my own business and I was going to launch my business. So I started really working on it those last couple months while I was at that company. And so during my lunch break and after work, and I was staying up late and I was doing all this research and I was in. And I started launching my business. And for 3 months, I was doing it what I thought was the right way. I was doing it like all the things I told you. I thought I had to have the website. I thought I had to have this. I thought I had to have that. And I worked on this know, like, trust thing. Theoretically, it was all in my head. And I mentioned this yesterday. You have to write it on paper. You have to bring it out of your head and put it into this world. And that's first happens by writing it down. And so I had left my exercise and fitness career, kind of. I was still doing that during my lunch break too. So technically I had three things I was really doing. Did the MBA program full-time, working full-time, running my business, having 2 children with special circumstances. Survived, ending a contract where I was making more money than I had made before because it was consistent. to then launch my own business consulting, which I knew I could already do. Everything that was in the business program, I already knew, except for the stocks and the finance statistics stuff. I then struggled. So I sat and I did my manifestation. I was actually creating a manifestation course for a company during that time. I did all my manifestation stuff, and I decided I want to work as a consultant at a consulting firm because I really want that in-between stage as I'm still doing this. So I sat down, did a beautiful meditation, calling upons, and the next morning I have a job interview with a consulting firm that I hadn't heard back in 3 months. And they hired me on, and I suddenly tripled my income. And I did that, got another job, started going, oh my gosh, well, if I'm making this much, how much are they making? Okay, so I started working on up-leveling my business again. And I started realizing all these trends of who's doing what and who's doing that. And then I eventually got a coach, and then I got another coach. And now I'm here to tell you, to teach you what it really is that you need and don't need. Hundreds of thousands of dollars in education. Thousands of hours, thousands and thousands of hours of education. You don't have to go through all that pain and suffering. I'm here to help you. Okay. I had to rewrite a lot of family karma right before I made that jump to do the MBA program. My mom and my stepdad at the time were they were making a lot of money on contracts, doing contractor work, like physical contractor work. And somehow they were still living paycheck to paycheck or contract to contract. And I was so tired of that. And I was like, how do we escape it? I'm so tired of this. I remember telling her, I'm so tired of this. I'm ready to escape this. And the response, I just heard, this is just how it is. This is just how it is. And suddenly it hit me and I said, no, I am breaking out of this. I'm not doing this anymore. I refuse to participate in this family karma cycle. I am done. I am not going to keep living this way. And my mom, who at the time, over and over, was doing the same thing. She was relying on a man for her income, even though she was perfectly capable of starting her own business and doing her own thing. But she kept getting in her comfort zone and kept allowing that to happen. And again, I was like, no, I am not going to do this. I am not going to be her. I'm not going to allow that to happen. I am breaking this cycle. I don't want my children to do this. And I made the stamp that in the future too, like any person I am in a relationship with will respect me. They will not allow me to be in my comfort zone. They will want me to be this powerful person, which I now have. I kept doing that manifestation. He showed up at my front door. That's a whole nother story. And we have a beautiful little girl, when in the past I was told that at 26, I needed to have my tubes tied because I never needed to have children because it could kill me. It didn't happen. I had a beautiful baby girl. I'm just fine. So I'm here to help you, to guide you. I just told you a story. This is my story. This is a story of so many. I can't work a 9 to 5. I can't do it. Are you like that too? So I want you to have this story. I want to share that story with you because I want you to know transformation is possible. I want you to have this story because I want you to have an idea of who I am and why I do what I do. You only need one strong brand story. You need your transformation. And as a coach, we have to be vulnerable. We have to share our story because the best success we will have in the business world is teaching people how to transform through the same transformation that we've had. Otherwise, there's this misalignment and we feel imposter syndrome. If you are a health coach, you need to be practicing what you preach. If you are a business coach, practice what you preach. You have to have a story. So your homework today is to write your story. Even if it's just a timetable, which is a great way to start. You were here, now you're here. Now, this is where a lot of people get hung up. You are here, but maybe that's not your end goal. Then don't teach people to be down there if you're not there yet. Teach them to be where you're at now, because in a week from now, you're going to be even better. What is it that you've already gained? What is it that you've already transformed? And what can you show them? Because you are different. You are better. You are empowered. You have made changes that have got you to where you are today. So where you were, where you are, and what key steps really transformed you to get you to where you are. Talk about that. Talk about the story. Talk about the emotions. I hope you felt my emotions. I felt them. I felt them all. I was just sharing with you. So you have to tell your story. Now, what if you don't feel comfortable telling your story? Then create an avatar. Create an avatar of Sally, Lucy, Rebecca, Sarah, whoever it is, who is like yours or exactly what you're going to teach. She's here, she's there. What all steps did she have to do? And sit in meditation and feel that and write that story. But you're going to have to allow yourself to get into a creative mode, into creativity. And you might still be in scarcity, and most likely you are. Most people are. So before you start writing, you're going to need to do a meditation or some Reiki or energy work on yourself, or get outside or do some deep breathing. And you're going to have to get yourself out of stress response and into relaxation response. And allow yourself to get creative. We need, first and foremost, if you have not done it yet, you need your vision and mission statement. Your vision and mission statement will help you choose which story to tell, because you have got a whole lot of stories. I've got a whole lot of stories. If you only knew the childhood that I had and the brainwashing I could have succumbed to, the family karma I could have got tied in with, but instead I'm here. That's all for another day. In fact, I'm hoping, dreaming, I'm starting a podcast, and I'll tell you these stories. And I want to bring people on and to share their stories, because stories are powerful. Transformation is powerful. Overcoming family karma it's just amazing. It's so amazing. I had this dream when I was 3, and I don't know why. Like, remember a dream when I'm 3 because I had it multiple times. And it was so impactful. And I'm standing in this forest, in this jungle, and it's so vivid still in my mind. There was this like light tan, dirt packed floor and these like jungle-ish trees, but it felt like we were also in this like container bubble. And my family is in a line and I'm standing at the back of the line, but I see my aunts and my uncles and my mom and my grandparents, and they're standing in this line. And then this huge, like shadowy creature comes up and it blows down the line of family. And each one of them are just passing out dead in front of me. And there I am standing and staring at it. And it stops and it doesn't get me. And it just stares. And I just stare at it with innocence and with optimism and with belief. And we have this, like, of course, it didn't have eyes, but we had this locking moment where it was like this energetic communication of saying, you are the one. You are the one. It stops with you. You are powerful. And again, there wasn't words. So I'm just giving words to it now. But I remember that feeling. I remember that energy exchange. And even at 3, I wasn't scared. I wasn't scared that my family had just died in front of my face. I was empowered. And I knew that I was different, and I wasn't going to let all of that stuff, all of who they were, become me. And I am so radically different from all of my family. This dream was so empowering. And so maybe you've had a dream like that too, where you're ready to stop it. You're ready to start anew. You're ready to change the family karma. You're ready for a different life. Especially as women, as coaches, we're wanting to empower people. We need to connect with people. We need to form relationships. Get out of scarcity. Making money, making lots of money is an energy exchange. The more impact you have, you can exchange that impact for money. It's not about money. It's about the impact that we're having. And money is a consequence of that impact. So start building those relationships and offer them this transformation in exchange. It's an energy exchange for a price. Because money is meaningless. It's the transformations, it's the impact. I've found money, it creates itself, right? It just creates itself. I don't know how many times you're like, it's just all going to work out, and it all just works out. You will rise to the occasion, and that can be scary. But you will rise. You will ascend. You will transcend this. But you have to be ready to move from caterpillar to chrysalis to butterfly. You have to be ready to fly. You have to be ready for the freedom. Are you ready for the freedom? Are you ready to transform? Are you ready to rise and take ownership of all that is possible for you? Are you ready? And if you're ready, I want to hear a yes. That doesn't mean you're saying yes to work with me. It's not a trap. It's you making a commitment to yourself. Are you ready? Are you ready to become your highest self? Are you ready to shed all of these excuses? Are you ready to transform? Are you ready to transcend? I want to hear yeses. And so this starts with you writing your story. Where were you? What have you overcome? How have you already transformed? Own that, honor that. And you can also write about where you want to go. That's fine. Share that passion, share that inspiration. That is what we're here for. So it's time. All right, today's homework. First of all, if you have not done yesterday's homework, you must do it before you do this one. You must. Today's homework is to begin writing your story. It's okay if you don't get it all done. We at least need that timeline of, okay, I was here, then I'm here, and these are the key pivotal things that happened. There might be stories within that. That's beautiful. What all stories do you have? Some inspirational stories. I want to hear them. I can't wait to hear them. And as I'm giving you all this homework, I'm still doing it again myself. I'm sitting here in my journal. I'm like, okay, I'm telling them to do this. I have to do it too. I'm not going to tell you to do it and then I'm not going to do it. Okay. So I'm going to have all my homework done this week too. I'm going to refine my vision and mission statement, make sure it's still in alignment with what I'm doing. I'm going to double check all my stuff. So even if you've done all of this, go back and double check it. Go back and revisit it. We should always check in with what we're doing and make sure we should remind ourselves of our vision and mission at least weekly. We should be telling this story over and over because, again, number one of these 2 steps was consistently showing up. You're going to tell your story over and over and over, and it's going to get more refined and it's going to get more emotional. It's going to get beautiful, and it's going to keep evolving because you're going to keep changing, because you're going to be rising. You're going to be ascending. And your marketing plan is going to be so simple because you're just simply, authentically showing up as you in a simple, easy way every single day. That's how it's simple. Just be you. Stop trying to be someone else. Stop trying to do it some way that someone's telling you have to do it in order to be successful. No, just be you. Just be you and share your transformation, share your journey. And even a sales pitch, doesn't have to be every day. It can be once a week. It can be every other week. And it's not a sales pitch. It's an invitation. It's an invitation to join you. It's an invitation to transform, because that's what you're offering as well as a coach. It's not sales. It's an invitation. All right. I'm sending all of you all so much love. Thank you so much for joining me on day 2. Make sure that you are participating in the group. You've liked, you've commented on the live videos like this one. And then there will be a homework that you will be posting your homework under. I encourage you to go out and start sharing your story today. It doesn't have to be perfect. It can be messy. It can be imperfect. We're all perfectly imperfect. And just start showing up. I encourage you to. And again, for those who show up all 7 days on the lives, and it can be replay too, and do the homework, you're going to be entered to win a 2-hour high ticket offer crafting session with me. And in order to make that session the most powerful, of course, you would have to do all that homework so that we're ready for it and it gets the most bang for its buck. You don't have to even be thinking about what that high ticket offer is. Just be showing up each day and do the homework, and we will land there together. I'm Izzy Nally. Thank you for joining me in day 2 of the Millionaire Marketing Makeover. I'm Izzy Nally with Izzy Nally Consulting, and I hope to see you tomorrow. Bye.